Hey Leo, this is your May 2023 tarot reading. Let's get started. There we go. I was like, I know that there's some more fire energy going to be coming in here for you. Aha, okay. All right. So, um, presently, there's something that you've been learning or you've been working really hard on. This could be an apprenticeship or some sort of informal or formal training. It could have to do with some physical labor or having to do with natural resources of some kind, but there is there is some sort of starting out on a financial kind of venture or an educational venture in hopes to build a career or finances in some sort of way. You might be very passionate about this, and there is this whatever struggle has been it has been moving up the ladder in terms of this um, learning um, stint you've been on. It's coming to an end soon, so there might be some sort of graduation or certification. I don't have any contractual cards lying around, but there is something here that you are growing, um, that you are learning how to grow in terms of your financial situation. This can literally be anything from building a house to doing a physical labor job, even being a tree logger, just anything to do with natural resources and and the like. There's a lot of gardens here, so I can't help but feel it could be landscaping or um, something to do with working outdoors in some sort of way. You could have been learning how to um, maybe you've done this apprenticeship or this you've had this learning experience and now you're ready. Oh, my kitty is saying hi kitty. You gonna come in? No. The little lion says hello. Okay, so let me just shut the door so I don't wake people. Ha! I got it. Okay. All right. So sorry. Here we go. So this is your energy. This is like fiery energy. Whatever it is, it's been going for a while now, and you're ready maybe to finish up this part of the cycle that you're in regards to this like learning experience. Also, this is news on the workplace that some sort of um, learning experience is now ending, and you're about, which has been a challenge for you, and now you're about to go into a new phase of whatever you've been doing. So let's see. This can also be you having just started a job and um, you've been learning the ropes, and now you're getting more established. You're coming into a time where your hard work is paid off, and you're almost set in whatever phase of learning you are now finding yourself in. The training period is ending, is basically what I'm thinking. So now, in terms of how you're feeling like you finally can take care of yourself and have a little extra to share, maybe with your hobbies. Maybe put into your home and maybe decorate your home a little bit more. Start doing more fun and leisurely activities, maybe. Um, have a few luxuries in life, maybe get a pet. So it's been kind of a nice experience for you in terms of being able to enjoy your own energy that you've put into something and see the results and the productivity that you've had pay off for you. In the past, you were definitely feeling like there was some stuff wasn't moving. You might have felt like things were dragging out. You were checking to see if something was ready to harvest in some sort of way. This could be a literal garden if you're into that sort of thing, or landscaping or whatever. But you were growing something, and now you've been waiting for quite a bit of time, and it's finally now coming to that climactic, like, okay, so now this phase is done and we're moving on to the next phase. But now you're able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And so we've gone from the 7 to the 8. So the 8 of Pentacles, which isn't here on the table, is about mastery of a skill set. It is about, it is one of the highest forms of talent in the tarot. It's very meticulous energy. It's a tedious kind of working away at something, and it's taking you enjoy it at the same time. So it takes up quite a bit of time, and you don't even notice the time passes when you do it. So it feels like you're jumping from waiting to see results from whatever work you've been putting into something, and then having, like, boom, like one day it's just like, oh wow, I have all this behind me now and under my belt, and I'm able to enjoy my life a little more from it, maybe make some money from it. So that's good. Yeah, what you don't know is there's going to be a new adventure that you're going to be going on. You're going to be starting something new and exciting soon. So I feel like somebody's going to take you on maybe right after all this happens, like right after you finally you go from, like, waiting for your skills to improve, waiting for something to improve, and then all of a sudden you're realizing that you are really good at something, and there's a new beginning to go. You start something new with this new skill or talent, or you build off of it in some sort of new way, but you don't know that's coming yet. um I feel like there is some sort of decision that needs to be made in terms of maybe taking the risk. You might have to make a decision about something that you don't have all the information about, and you would like to be more firmly planted on the ground and grounded in the situation, and be able to see all that it entails. But it seems like you're going to have to use your intuition in regards to this. That's your advice, is to make the decision even though you don't have all the information, and just try to gain as much clarity as possible by tuning into your higher self, or tuning up, tuning in, tuning up. Um, you might feel a little divided at this time between what you're thinking and how you're feeling about something. Um, your advice is to make a logical decision, but also one that is coming from an intuitive place, not one that's maybe emotional based. Other people see you as being the hero of your journey. The Six of Wands is, I'm being acclaimed, I'm being rejoiced, I'm being welcomed back home after a great battle where I was victorious. I survived the storm. I am crowned with the Bay Laurel Wreath. I am successful. This is successful. They're seeing you as successful. And you will be probably gaining recognition in terms of certain powers that you have, which could be in regards to your career and finance sector, certain abilities that you have. There is this and they might be a little bit jealous. Some people might be a little bit jealous. I never see this guy back here. I never see him. But he could be, I get the vibe that this time he's giving him like a, oh, you again. um, so other people in your life might be jealous of a success that you have, or, um, and that's really not important. Obviously, there'll be tons more celebrating your win, and so this big ending, this culmination, this climax that happens in terms of what you've been working towards, um, you're being seen by others as being very successful in it. So this is also the house of the psyche. You might be feeling a little bit cocky even at this time, and maybe not realizing that going into this new phase, you're going to be starting over from the ground up. So you might feel like top dog right now after this period of waiting period and finally getting there, and then you're like, oh, I got to start over from the bottom up again in some sort of way. With the new thing that you're going to be learning or starting anyway. I always get when the Hermit comes up in the ninth placement, some sort of guru, like guru vibes. I get like monk vibes, spiritual, kind of magical vibes at a distance, foreign lands that have like magical culture. There is this analyzing of what you're afraid of or what you're hoping for, why, getting down to almost what makes you tick in terms of your spiritual beliefs, in terms of what you're afraid of and what you're looking for in this world, and kind of turning inward. It's an analyzation of the self. It's inner alchemy. You're hoping that this experience will help you understand yourself better, and that maybe you can show others the way down this path someday. You might be hoping to be a wise older person and having quite a bit of observation skills in terms of, maybe there's something about this this destiny that you're looking to, this final destination from all these learnings and trials here, that you're looking to be somebody who is the inspector of something, who is the one that comes in and says, okay, this is what needs to be done because I have all the experience of working under or working with the different aspects of this job, and now I am the guru of it. And basically, I come in, I get paid a lot of money, and I just for my observation skills alone and my analysis. This also can be some kind of medical um, medical field that you have gotten yourself into, and maybe you started working in the cafeteria of a hospital or something, um, and now you are going to medical school or doing training for nursing, or um, there is something here where you are moving up a ladder in terms of the healing arts of some kind, or some sort of um, job that involves mixing things and changing or transforming or transmuting, like the way things previously were, into something else through observation and detail. So I'm thinking that this could be in the psychological arts as well, because I see the Six of Wands being there in the eighth house. Any cards of Scorpio anywhere? Well, this might be actually a Scorpionic card, I forget. Cancer. Yeah, there's something here that you're hoping to be able to understand yourself better from this experience that you're having in the external world. Um, you're hoping that this expands your wisdom and knowledge in regards to a certain subject or other cultures, or how things work. You might be fearing being alone though, because it is kind of a lonely thing. Maybe it's a lot of work and there isn't much time for socialization, or maybe it's a job where you have to be social, and so it's not really you're not choosing the social aspects of it, so it's might feel like you you might have to travel afar by yourself for this job. You might be on the road a lot alone for this job, or out in nature a lot alone with this job. This is also somebody who comes to people's houses at a distance from himself, travels far for um, doing electrical work as well, or plumbing, or any kind of those trades. This can even be somebody who's literally a forager, like learns the herbalism of the land and studies it. There's a lot of learning here with the Page of Pentacles and the Hermit card. And it's going from somebody who is a complete novice to somebody who is the master, because they know that there's always more the world can teach them, and they can continue growing. So they've now gotten the title in the mundane world of being the master, the magi, the alchemist. There's a lot of alchemy here. So whatever you're doing, you are taking something and making it into something else by means of mixing it, by means of tempering it. This can be also learning art, you know. It doesn't have to be as a physical science, but I'm seeing a lot of physicality in this reading, Leo. So yeah, career, there's a new beginning, super exciting for you. There is something that's like a spark that leads you down a new path. It's at its earliest stages, so it can really develop into something quite exciting. And really drive you in a new direction. However, you will need to maintain it, to give energy to it, to grow what you're working on in career. Your reputation, you could be new on the scene somewhere, but getting quite a bit of acclaim. You might get a lot of hype coming into some sort of new scene right off the bat. There might be a lot of competition that's awaiting for you on the other side of it, but I feel like you initially get that spark, that success. Maybe you were well known in one field and you've moved now and started moving now into a new field. um, I do see that you've progressed from a novice in something to a master, and now you're starting over as a novice in something else. Or you feel like you are. That might be where you get a little bit hung up. It's like you feel like an imposter maybe a little bit, um, because you're modest about how much you've learned or how many skills that you have. 10th house of career, 10th place is the outcome. So we go from healing something, either physically, changing, transmuting something physically, or internally within ourselves. And then we have this new thing that grows from it, a new beginning, a new start that is a gift from the divine, an opportunity to start something new, to go down a new path that we can be excited about, that we maybe are starting to feel passionate about. Um, there's potential here, there's creative energy here, and it seems like we get the help we need to get there. There's somebody that offers some assistance financially or resources to help you along the journey. This can also be you being a humanitarian, a philanthropist of some kind, because now you're doing much better from what you've learned in in your life and what you've achieved, and now that you're financially set and are able to give back a little bit more, this is you using some of your resources to give back to the world now and kind of feed this thing. So you could also be teaching something that you once learned. um, this is a very Libra and card. We have the scales here, and generosity. So Libra and Taurus for me with this card. Um, I get those vibes. So this can be anything to do from any of your resources being shared to, which would be a success if you were sharing any resources with anybody, or any kind of shared endeavors, or um, taxes, any kind of shared financial situation where you're able to have access to other people's money, or you're doing good on behalf of other people's money, will be very successful for you. Um, People might see you as being a hero if this is something that you do, or maybe you have gotten into the medical field in some sort of way and now you're offering very low cost medicine or treatments to your patients that are in need. There's some giving back in some sort of way here. Whether it could be giving back by teaching what you know to other people who might not have the money to go to school for it. If it isn't something that is required by law to go to school for, I do see the Libra scales being there. That is the contractual and the legal aspect of this. So this is human rights as well, being in the 11th house. So if you have been an activist of any kind, You are being seen as whether it's for nature or humans or animals. You're being seen as somebody who's achieved a lot of great things, and people see you as a hero in some sort of way. Whether it's like as small as I take in animals from shelters that other people wouldn't necessarily want to take on, or I do something good for the earth on a regular basis, or I go downtown on Sunday after church or whatever and give back to the people there that are hungry and in need. I buy them coffee, or there's something there that you do that other people are noticing and seeing as being, they're seeing you as being somebody who's very generous. Other people are acknowledging your generous spirit. Now, in terms of this starting something new in terms of the generosity or the balancing out of resources, there is, I feel like some of you, if you had worked in some sort of lumber field where people cut down trees, maybe you start planting trees. There's like this, I take and I give back. And I take from what the universe has to offer me, and then I give back to replenish what I have taken. There's balance being created here for the future. There's something being done here to better the future, to better. If this is technology related, even there could be like some sort of new way of online banking or something. There's something there about input output in terms of the future, in terms of finances, the future of the financial market too, because this can be also a card of mercantile. In the end, I see you finally beginning your journey after learning quite a bit on a new path. And you're a novice again, and you're excited to start something new. You might be not fully understanding exactly what it will entail. This could also be somebody that you are training how to do a skill that you once were trained how to do, who might be slightly impractical or a little bit arrogant at times, but you're realizing that they are on a different phase than you are, obviously, and you might be able to understand them more from the position of, I used to be in that position. I used to be young. This is also a card of somebody younger. Okay? So this could be a young person that you don't know is coming in, that you will eventually teach this skill that you've been learning, that you've mastered or are mastering. You have quite a bit, and you might be able to share something with somebody else. I see that happening. I see you being generous. I see you being helpful, Leo. Your energy is coming through a lot stronger now that I've actually gone through the reading. I see 10 of Wands, 6 of Wands, Ace, and the Page. So you're definitely here, and you're in your energy, and you have all this excitement. And also Aries, right? With the Fool. This is a great new cycle for you. I think that whatever changes will be with these Scorpio eclipses might, for some of you, it might hit you a little less hard in terms of cataclysmic events. It might throw somebody new into your life that you have to teach something to. All right. All right. I actually will. I'll go through the houses for you. Sometimes I jump around too much. People might be looking at you and saying you look a lot younger than you did. Like, your physical body could be very youthful. You could be dressing a lot more youthful for some reason. You might have a new sense of style that's more young and hip. People might be noticing that or beginning to notice that. You might have more energy physically as well. You might feel like you were a little, like you got a boost of energy when you were younger, or there's something here to do with the amount of energy or strength that you have, and you might have started working out recently and it's starting to pay off. You're coming to the end of like the toil without any results, um, and able to finish off that part of the cycle for you. Second house resources, something to do with heavy lifting in terms of work. So anything that you're doing to maybe you've been saving up coupons, saving up. You're accumulating something and having to carry something around with you in order to save money. So, or to save on resources. So maybe you're gardening more. You're being more self-reliant in terms of doing DIYs at home in order to save money. Maybe like buying that piece of furniture that's already installed. Or having it built for you is not feasible right now in terms of finances, so you are doing it yourself, and you've been building something for a while or carrying something around for a while, and now it's time to finish it up, and you'll probably have something nice to show for yourself when it's done. So you might also work in some sort of agriculture or food industry. Um, you might be passionate about those things. You might have like collected or consumed so much material goods in your lifetime up until now that you might be doing a tag sale or something in regards to getting rid of some of those things. I just see that with the Page of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. I feel like somebody's putting something out on their lawn and people are buying that. So, um, or you're donating. You could be donating them as well. Things that you're no longer using, that you're just been like, this is a lot to move. There's a lot to carry around if I have to move again. Or um, third house. There's a beautiful place that you like to go visit in your neighborhood. It could be like a zoo or a some kind of place in nature, or one of your cousins or your brother, sister um, might introduce you to a new place, and you find yourself feeling pretty relaxed and at home there. There's something about it being like having an ambiance of some kind that you really enjoy being in. There might be wildlife, or there might be just it might be just peaceful and enjoyable for you. Or you might have people over and show them around your neighborhood and the pretty places that are there. You also could be thinking in the long term, or excuse me, in the short term, in terms of taking short trips around the area that you live to go see wildlife or to enjoy nature. Um, Maybe going camping, like locally, if you live out near that sort of thing. Um, there's just something here about thinking about the benefits you can have from what you've what you've accumulated. So appreciating what you have, being able to really bask and enjoy the luxuries of life. This is like going sunbathing in your backyard. Um, there's a couple different things here that I could pull from this. So this is also financial independence. So you're thinking about your financial independence at this time. Um, and you might be making like short-term trips around your neighborhood to like locally to make sure you get the best price on something to keep your there's like a budgeting here, a frugality here, a savings here. So you've really kind of achieved savings for yourself, or there's some security that you've built up for yourself. There's even, if you are somebody who's younger, you might be installing fences for people or some sort of um, landscaping thing. I think I said that already. So, third house, fourth house. There is a new beginning in the home and family. There might be a child born in the family. There might be a new family home. Maybe your parents are getting to an age where they are moving into a smaller condo or something like that. There could be also a new pet that comes into the home. But there is a new beginning in terms of children in the family or um, pets in the family. I do see pets heavy because I do have a horse here, I have a dog here, and I have a bird. So most likely, most of you, if you get a new pet, will be a bird or a small mammal creature. Some of you might actually own a farm of some kind and be getting a horse. I don't know, but there is this kind of animal theme through this. Um, hmm. Yeah, new home as well. So if you might be moving, you might be just having cleaned up and sold it, had a tag sale and getting prepared to move. There is this kind of thread of preparing, tilling the land, preparing what's in front of you, waiting for things to get done, having a list, checking it off as you go along, um, making sure, inspecting that everything's taken care of, moving things around. So yeah, there's this kind of energy coming in. So it might be that you're moving houses during the month of May, or preparing to and move houses in the month of June or something. Your romantic life might be not where you want it to be. It might not be ready to move to the next step yet, but you've been waiting patiently. This is also in terms of getting physical with your partner. Maybe things aren't exactly where, maybe they don't feel comfortable yet, or you don't feel comfortable yet, or there's some sort of physical thing that it's being, that's kind of being put in the way of the romantic relationship growing or progressing at this time. There's a slowdown. Maybe somebody said that they wanted to take a little bit of a break because they were busy with work, and um, so there's that. Also, you might be saving up for some kind of fun activity or some kind of thing that you like to do, like a hobby. Um, you might need like a tool for a hobby or some sort of toy, like a man toy, like video games and or you're collecting things. Maybe you collect certain you have hobbies where you collect certain things for fun, and you're saving up for that big thing that you've always wanted to have on your shelf. There's something here about not being ready quite yet, or almost having enough but not quite. um, in terms of gambling, this could be maybe looking at how much you've spent on your gambling habit in the past um, several years, and now you're like, man, when am I gonna hit the big one? Or maybe like, man, I spent a lot of money there. Like, thinking about it, like that was a lot of money. And you could be thinking about how much more money that you could have now if you hadn't spent money on that. And I don't see like the Five of Cups or anything. I don't see like you being really like upset about it. I just see you, thinking about like, if I had just saved all that money all that time. Um, this is also smoking. So if you've been smoking for a long time and you finally, or drinking, um, this could be like it's a luxury. It's a habit. Um, you could be thinking about how much money it's cost you over the years and just being like, oh my god, I'm so glad I gave that up, or oh my god, I need to give that up, or and the Scorpio lunar eclipse that is happening on May 5th would be a very good time for that, for all of us, because it is a Scorpio. Um, Scorpio is the energy of habits, toxic cycles, stuff like that. So, and power as well. So, taking your power back, maybe working on that. Um, I'm gonna try actually to get my habits in order. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like a little bit of that. Um, Sixth house. There is great healing in the health, and it's from something you do in your daily routine, probably. It could be that you're drinking more water and it's flushing out some toxins in your body. It's helping you. There is something in terms of you being able to balance. It's a more balanced diet. It's a um, more working out. There's some physical activity that might be helping your body balance out hormonally, or um, just balance out all of your body. It's something you're doing is working. You'll start to see results from that. Um, though there will be some sort of change, probably inside you personally, like your maybe belief in yourself might change. Um, Iris is a very protective energy. I see irises in there. So there's a protection of, if you had any struggles and you were trying to have a baby or something, there's this kind of healing and protective energy that's flowing in for you. I'm trying to see if there's anything else with this card. Your day to day life might consist of doing more art. You might be working art into your schedule. You might be being more artistic on a routine basis. Um, you could also be mixing drinks a lot on a routine basis. Maybe a new job as a bartender or a mixologist or somebody who's cooking. There's something there about on the routine. You will be alchemizing things. You will be mixing things together to make something new. So this can be paint. This can be a whole bunch of different things. This is observing how your health is doing. There's an analysis here of finding something that works for you in terms of your health, and really analyzing it and really kind of refining it. And there might be like certain protein shakes that or you've been working on a recipe, even cooking healthier. There's something here about like refining a recipe, or working on something where you're trying to maybe start a business or learn how to do something so you could do it from home or something. Um, and you're kind of developing a recipe or a concoction of some kind. Um, so one thing turns into the many. So this could be also just you starting to drink protein shakes, or make smoothies at home more, because I see a lot of growth here in the background there, and just taking that and then making it into something else you can hold in your hands. And there's this. So yeah, you might start drinking protein shakes or meal replacement shakes of some kind. Relationships, you're not going to know where you stand with somebody, um, and or you might know that where you stand with them, but you might not know if anything is ever going to progress. And so you might be taking a step back and protecting your heart in the matter, and using your intuition, um, to guide you through an emotional kind of setback of some kind, or an impasse. Or I don't see it being like super sad or detrimental or anything, a relationship fizzing out or anything. I just see you being like a little bit hurt, when somebody says something to you and you're like, ouch, like that kind of hurt. Um, Even though they're a good person, they didn't mean it. They were just putting up a boundary, and maybe you're very disappointed in that boundary. I see that being something that might happen. It isn't throwing the baby out with the bathwater, though. I feel like there's still potential for this relationship. It's just taking longer than you like to progress. Um, and that can go in any type of situation. It can be something you're teaching to a younger person, or somebody else who is learning from you, um, not taking in what you're trying to teach them. Or it can be, um, a partnership in terms of business, and you've been asking for that raise and asking for that raise, and it doesn't seem like you're being heard, and it's kind of disappointing. Or they say no, not at this time, and so you're like, oh, I want to get from this Seven of Pentacles here to this Nine of Pentacles, and how am I doing that? How is that going to happen for me? You might be getting some acclaim for some sort of taboo subject, um, or you're being acknowledged for some taboo subject of some kind. The eighth house is the house of crisis, right? So you could be working in a crisis field, and people are seeing you and seeing you as being such a great leader in a time of crisis, or somebody who's really good at what you do, and helping people in crisis. Um, this can also be fighting for other people's resources, or fighting for resources in general, natural resources, fighting for the planet, can come in here. This is being seen as somebody who is a hero, right? So when it falls in the house of the eighth house, I always see it as like it's a hero in times of crisis. Um, this is also somebody who's very, um, I'll say, Leo, you're not really known for being modest. That's not really your thing, and there's a time and place for it. And some, it depends on your birth chart. Sometimes certain Leos are more modest than others, and personal experience always plays in. Um, but I feel like people are noticing how they're looking up to you for something to do with what you've done in your life that might have been, overcoming of a great psychological challenge of some kind. Maybe you suffered with depression for a long time, or there was this battle emotionally in your inner psychological world, that maybe you went through some trauma, when you were a kid, or um, maybe that's why you like to help other people and give back to other people now. They see you as somebody who has gotten to the top of that mountain, and you're wearing the t-shirt, you're wearing the crown, and maybe Other people are bragging about you at this time, even about your accomplishments and how well you're doing. Other people could want to share in your success. So that can be a good thing and a bad thing, right? So just make sure that you have boundaries, you protect yourself from anybody who would want to take advantage of a situation. 9th house. There is some sort of guru type thing going on here. There is wise spiritual path leaders at a distance here in focus. We might hear about them on the news. We might, this could be somebody who practices literal alchemy, because I have the alchemy card so close to the hermit, and he is the alchemist, he is the mage. Um, he's Merlin, he's magical, right? He knows the metaphysical and the physical properties of the plants. He obtains this knowledge through his own personal gnosis, as well as the education that he's obtained or given himself. And he's able to transmute energies and use these things around him and their properties to learn even more about the world he finds himself in, and he's willing to teach those who come along his ways, the old ways, but he doesn't have to talk about it. It's like he's putting something out there with the not with an expectation of getting attention for it, but he is drawing in because his light is shining so bright in the darkness that there those who wish to find the light will find him. So that's where I see this coming in. It's like people are being magnetized towards you and what you do and what you have. So then you just want to, your advice is to protect yourself at this time, to not open yourself up too much because you might get hurt or taken advantage of. And boundaries are important. So ninth house is also spiritual belief. So you could be going back to an old way of think, not an old way that you've thought, but more of an historical kind of spiritual belief or practice. You're going through some sort of initiation into something, some sort of path working, whether it be shamanism or there's some sort of ancient wisdom and learning here. Um, then there is this 10th house. And like I said before, there's this brand new beginning in the work sphere. There's this like, if you grow anything for work, I mean, if you work at a garden shop, I mean, literally anything like that, it could just be a mundane representation of that. But I feel like you're excited about this new start at work. Maybe you're getting, you've moved up and you're able to start doing, you've passed like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not initiation, but like you've learned the basics and now you're able to get a promotion and you're starting your new office, or you're getting a new office, or you're able to begin doing something a little more hands-on, and really what you're going to enjoy. Instead of like just the learning aspect, you'll actually be able to do things. And you'll be at the beginning of that stage and cycle. There is this associate that may be giving something to you or offering to pay for something. There could be a loan from an associate or a friend, and you may or may not take that. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but just as I said, protecting your own energy is the advice. So maybe setting some boundaries, some guidelines to the situation in order to make sure that everybody is on the same page, and that the situation is balanced. So there's also some sort of written kind of documentation with this. Sometimes there's a legal kind of touch to the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like you may have to sign a contract or an agreement with this person, like I will pay you back this and this and this by this time. This can also be debts, right? The sixth house is being highlighted here as well, and with the Temperance card there in the sixth house placement with the sixth house card, I feel like you will be refinancing or consolidating debt at this time, or you will be taking out a loan in order to put all of your debt onto one card or one and pay it off with a loan and then just have one bill, um, or two bills to focus on. There's something here about um, there's also business, um, what's the word, conjoining of businesses, bringing them together, merging. There's a merging of business here, and so um, you might hear about this through an associate at work or a friend in the workplace, that and you might join forces with somebody, or you might be a part of a company that is joining forces with another company. um 12th house, also health. The health of a friend. You might be involved in humanitarian efforts to help others in their health in some sort of way. Um, or you might give somebody some money in order to go to the doctors, or um, there's something here. Maybe you have extra food and you give it to a friend who doesn't have as much money, or there's something here about helping someone's health. Um, this can be the doctor thing again. There's a lot of health and medicine and science cards on the table. Um, 12th house. If you are arrogant during this period, a little cocky, I'll think you know how to do something, and rush in and try to do it before you know how to do it. I think that might be a problem at some point with something. And this is also um, a teenager that doesn't want to listen, that might be involved in some sort of behavior that is not wanted in the home. Maybe they've started smoking cigarettes or pot, or are staying up past their bedtime, not really coming home at night and going to sleep. Um, there's somebody here that's a of the adolescent age or immaturity that is maybe keeping you up at night, because they are constantly doing stuff, or there's this this is also that time of age where you know kids start to become, not that they are adults, but they start to become adults, and we have to have those pep talks and things. So this could be about that too. This has to do with also about teaching children boundaries and a routine, um, in terms of getting the proper sleep and getting to bed and not doing too much of any one thing in our bodies because it can set off the balance of things. And this is also Pisces energy. Pisces energy with some sort of fiery thing. Fiery, youthful thing. This could be having to do something with like sports, like giving your kids something that's well known that other kids want, or some kind of night, some sort of nighttime, like maybe your children have been allowed to, because they've gotten older, they've been allowed to stay up later. You're changing their rules in terms of their routines. There's something here about something new, a spark of something that's being shared or given to somebody. So very interesting. Maybe there is something that your kids have desired or wanted, and now you give that to them as a gift, as a form of giving back to them and helping them out with something. This is also an instrument. So your kid might have wanted to, or somebody younger than you, or somebody that you care about, might have wanted to have um, some sort of instrument to start something, maybe a guitar or something, um, and you pitch in and say, I'll meet you halfway for it, or I will donate to this fund, this get you on the instrument fund or something. There's a giving back, and that young person is now really excited and starting their journey with music or something like that. All right, Leo, I really hope you enjoyed your reading. I'll see you in June, and take care.